Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Ōkami. Last time we completed Orochi's disgusting appetizer and made our way all the way up here to the throne room. So this time, without further ado, we are going to be confronting the beast. You might notice I re-equipped the Infinity Judge and put our life beads on the sub-slot. That's basically because the Infinity Judge is by far the most powerful weapon you can obtain at this point in the game, and you definitely want to use it against Orochi. You are going to want to have all the power you can muster before heading all the way up this incredibly long, winding path, and at the top, it overlooks this. Ami, look! Over there! O wild god of the heavens! 100 years have passed since you imprisoned me here. How is it you have come back after perishing and turning into stone? 100 years in a cold, stony tomb, you reek of decay. I've heard enough. Bottoms up, big guy. So begins the battle with Orochi. Or so you would hope. Because, unfortunately, that cheater has a barrier up. What are we gonna do now? Any bright ideas, Furball? Run, Kushi! Run! Hold it right there, vile serpent. Susanoo! You came! I knew you'd come! Have no fear, Susanoo is here! Orochi and I have a score to settle. Pops? Long have I awaited your coming, O descendant of Nagi. Now we shall fulfill this burning desire which has consumed us. The descendants of Nagi have kept me imprisoned here for 100 years. Yet it is that accursed bloodline which shall unleash my true power. A pact between Nagi's descendant and I, the great Orochi, shall deliver unto me dark powers beyond all comprehension. Let us seal the blood pact for all eternity. What the heck's Serpent Breath talking about? A blood pact with Susanoo will unleash Orochi's true power? O he who seeks power, your first chance slipped through your grasp. But now the time has come for us to seal our eternal bond. Speak the words, I wish darkness upon the world. Utter that prayer to me and seal our blood pact. You too shall gain dark powers beyond all comprehension. Orochi's trying to tempt Susanoo. I bet that sneaky serpent was the one giving Pops those nightmares. Now, utter the prayer. Let the words come from deep within. Recite the words of our blood pact. Oh, I shall. I am the descendant of Nagi. Behold, Susanoo, the greatest warrior who ever lived. Hear me, vile serpent who would seek to harm a helpless woman. Your time is up. Feel the wrath of my trusty sword. Foolish beast, did you really think you could deceive me? The only pact for me is the one that comes with my bloodline. If it is my fate to fall battling evil, then so be it. I seek help from neither god nor demon. The heroic bloodline of Nagi is all I require to slay you. Glittering gold sake. Is that 8 purification sake, Ami? Susanoo and Kushi made a miracle happen. Time to work your magic, Ami. And so begins the true battle against Orochi. First off, what we need to do is we need to use this sake to intoxicate the beast. When it gives an almighty roar, your stupid face doesn't scare us, you big worm. Quick, Ami, the sake! Shoot the 8 purification sake right into Orochi's gaping mouth. Yes, indeed. So what we need to do is we need to bait the beast into giving its almighty roar. You can use the wind to neutralize the fire, and when it roars, simply use water spout to put the sake into the beast's mouth. And he will become intoxicated. It's working! Heh, take that, you big worm. Keep it coming, Ami. Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, this head isn't quite so down and out yet, so what we need to do is we need to give it a little bit more drink. So, let us do that. Look! That's one down. Don't stop there. Let's get the other heads drunk too. Yes, indeed. Proceeding this way, here we have the Earth Head. Each head has different powers. You're going to want to be able to look out for each one. You can go either clockwise or counterclockwise. It really doesn't matter which 3 heads you intoxicate, but you're really going to want to intoxicate as many heads as possible, as quickly as possible. So if there are some heads you feel more comfortable fighting, go ahead and be sure to do it. Looks like we're pretty much locked into these 2 heads right here, which there's really nothing wrong with. Can we bait you into roaring? Yes, we can. Alright, that one is now completely drunk, and now we have the Poison Head. Now, one thing that's worth noting, in that cutscene back there, the Thunderhead was a bit confused. There is a reason for that, and it's pretty amusing, but I'm not going to explain it now. All the way up at the top. Once you have intoxicated 3 heads, you may run up to this bell, and this is why I wanted you to grab that exorcism slip L. What you want to do is just run up to the bell, open up your menu, go into your tools, and blast that L, and that will destroy the bell instantly. No attacking required. And now begins the second phase of this fight. We must defeat every single head. The way this works is once they give that roar, you can intoxicate them, and they will become stunned. What you want to do then is you want to run up. The worm's down! Looks like that barrier has finally dissolved. And if that's the case, then you're free to finish Orochi off with your weapons and brush. Yes, indeed we are. You want to hammer this guy as hard as you can with as many divine powers as possible. This is why I recommended Exorcism Slip M's, because if you're in a pinch, hitting these guys with Exorcism Slips is definitely recommended. And, darn, we almost got it. But yeah, we have to defeat all of the heads in this phase of the battle. It gets really intense from here on out, and this is definitely why I recommend Infinity Stones, because if you find that you're running out of ink a lot, you're definitely going to want to whip one of those out. I'm going to try and see if I can do it without, but if you are running into problems, you're definitely going to want to use them. Anyway, here we have the Earth Head. I think we're going to try and take him out next. Alright, can you give your roar? Yes, you can. Now, it is worth noting, that fire in the background there is actually a source for Inferno. And you can do damage to the heads. Wow, that does a lot, actually. I'm surprised. My Pokemon knowledge would tell me that that wouldn't actually do all that much, but that's actually doing quite a bit of damage. I'm impressed. Can we take him out in one cycle? Yes, we can. Down goes the Earth Head. Up next is the Poison Head. The Poison Head has a couple of interesting abilities. The main one is to spit out those clouds of poisonous gas. Alright, how much does the fire do against this guy? About the same amount. That seems to be the neutral amount of damage. I'm just going to wail on him here a bit until my ink recovers a little bit. Get a little bit more fire in here, and I think one more bit of fire should do it. Down goes the Poison Head. Up next is the Light Head. This guy can actually shoot solar power at you, which is kind of crazy. Well, I don't know if it's exactly solar power, but I mean, it's light. That's probably what we're gonna be thinking of. And fire does about the same, actually, against this guy. Alright, we'll go with it. Alright, we can almost bring him down. Can we... Actually, no, I don't want to do that, because I wanted to let my ink recharge a little bit more for that last little blow. Right here, all the way at the back, is the Lightning Head, and the Lightning Head was confused in the cutscene because of a little bit of a joke with the developers. The Lightning Head is exactly opposite the Fire Head, which is usually taken to be the main head. So he's always facing backwards, not really in the action all that much, and I find that to be a really amusing little detail. And I don't want to jinx it, but I am doing very, very well in this boss fight. I really, really don't want to speak too soon, but this is going well, and oh, come on. He's got a sliver of health left. Dang it. Alright, you might notice there are meteors falling from the sky. You definitely want to avoid those, but honestly, it's not too terribly difficult to do. Anyway, now that he's stunned, last little bit, and the Thunderhead is now down. Up next is, I believe, the Waterhead. Ooh, we just lost a bit of godhood, but I don't think that really counts. Anyway, you can stand on this little spot right here, but he will also summon these water lilies for you to stand on, so you don't even have to summon your own, which I find pretty amusing. Anyway, oh wow, there's like these little snake versions. I didn't know these guys were actually in this battle. That's an interesting little detail. Anyway, I want to take him out. Can I damage you? Unfortunately not. Really want you to get rid of this water dude. Alrighty, there we go. And then he will give his roar, and we may deposit the sake into his mouth. Now, I believe the Waterhead is very weak to fire. Am I correct about this? Yeah, look at how much damage that does. It does so much damage. 3 fire, and down goes the Waterhead. Up next is the Windhead. What he will do is he will summon tornadoes. What you want to do is counteract these tornadoes with your own by blowing in the opposite direction. So then we may intoxicate this head as well. And how much does fire do on this guy? Honestly, it's worth trying out the fire on all these guys, just because... Oh no, I took damage. Dang it, I thought we were going to have a perfect run. One thing that's worth noting is I think you can use the sake to put yourself out if you're on fire, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, this is a pretty crazy fight, and I just ran out of ink, which is unfortunate, but I'm not going to use an Infinity Stone because he's actually out for the count anyway, so we can't damage him. So I'm going to use my wind power to neutralize this tornado. He's giving a roar, going to intoxicate him, and ow, did a bit more damage to me. Alright. Gonna wait for that to regenerate a bit, put ourselves out, and I think we can just finish him off with our Infinity Judge. As you can see, the Infinity Judge does a lot of damage, so you definitely want to equip it. And last up is the Darkness Head. This guy has a really weird ability to spit out these things, so you need to use Bloom on them. Otherwise, they will rupture and spit out that darkness, similar to the kind that covered Kusa Village back when we first went there. And if that happens, you're in trouble, just gonna say that much. Alright, how much does fire do? Only a little bit. I think the Waterhead is the only one that is specifically weak to fire, although that's not necessarily a bad thing, although people that play Pokemon might get a little confused. But anyway, that is every head. The time has come. O sacred moon of the heavens, come forth and pierce this darkness. Bear witness to the beast's demise upon my trusty sword, Tohen Boku. Did he say moon? Right. The legend says the moon was shining when Nagi slew Orochi. Susanoo's style blade of truth. Good. Will. Never. Give. In. To. Evil. Finish it off, Ami. No, Fido. I don't need your help this time. Now for the ultimate in Susanoo-style martial arts. Celestial Cleaver! Dearest Kushi, just as you devote your life to sake brewing, the way of the sword is all I know. Yet I have failed, for I unleashed that foul beast upon the world. I allowed evil to cloud my judgment. Who am I to claim the right to wield a sword now? Alas, there is no reason for me to live. Oh, Susanoo, why do you look so serious? Come on, laugh like you normally do. Looking like that is what makes monsters turn up. So come on, laugh. Laugh like you do when you help me harvest the rice every year. And so it came to pass that, 100 years after its first defeat, the dreadful Orochi succumbed to Amaterasu and Susanoo's onslaught. As the foul breath left Orochi's twisted body, the curse lifting, a powerful sword known as Tsumugari appeared. It was the reborn form of Tsukuyomi, which had been consumed by Orochi. Armed with this new blade, Amaterasu prepared for further adventure. At that moment, a mysterious evil force emerged from Orochi's corpse, splitting off in all directions and flying off into the distant sky. At that time, no one had any inkling as to just what that force was. The truth is, the real calamity and chaos had yet to visit the world. But for the time being, Kamiki found itself enjoying a new era of peace. Our story, however, is far from over. In fact, it is just beginning. That's right, Ami. We're just getting started. I mean, we can't let a great adventure simply end like this. Now give me one of those famous victory howls of yours. At last the time has come. The inseverable bonds between heaven and earth. Waka, the situation has grown urgent. You must return to the city at once. Très bien. Amaterasu, you may have slain Orochi this time, but do not assume it will be so easy the next.
Ōkami!